Iran has repositioned its strike drones under the cover of joint military drills with Russia in the Strait of Hormuz, Fox News reported. A defense expert has described the move as a calculated escalation, unfolding at a moment of rising tensions between Tehran and Washington. Cameron Chell of defense firm Dragonfly claims Iranian forces shifted drones and other military assets into potential strike positions while participating in combined exercises with Russian forces along the coastline. According to Chell, the drills provided convenient cover. He argues that the Russian exercises allowed Iran to mask the repositioning of drones into operational locations, calling it a deliberate and strategic escalation. The joint exercises, reported by the Associated Press, coincided with mounting diplomatic pressure from U.S. President Donald Trump. Following indirect talks in Geneva, Trump signaled determination to secure an agreement over Iran's nuclear ambitions. "We're going to make a deal, or we're going to get a deal one way or the other," he told reporters aboard Air Force One.
Get a deal one way or the other.
But with a military strike, is it to wipe out their nuclear program?
I'm not going to talk to you about that, but we're either going to get a deal or...
Meanwhile, U.S. military movements in the region have been highly visible. On February 18th, U.S. Central Command released photographs showing F/A-18 Super Hornets landing on the deck of the USS Abraham Lincoln in the Arabian Sea. Flight tracking data has also indicated the presence of U.S. Navy MQ-4C Triton surveillance drones operating near Iran's coastline. One Triton was observed on February 14th, and another on February 18th, conducting high-altitude maritime intelligence missions over the Gulf. Chell explained that the MQ-4C Triton is a surveillance platform without strike capability, typically flying at around 50,000 feet. He said such drones would likely launch from land bases in countries including Saudi Arabia or Qatar, providing real-time situational awareness to naval commanders. According to Chell, these drones are flown at altitudes that make them visible to Iranian forces, serving as a deterrent. However, he also claimed that an MQ-9 Reaper was deployed. Unlike the Triton, the MQ-9 has strike capability and operates at altitudes between 25,000 and 40,000 feet. Chell stated that Iran does not possess strong capabilities to shoot down such platforms. As tensions simmer, the USS Gerald R. Ford, the second aircraft carrier sent to the Middle East by President Trump, and its accompanying vessels are heading across the Atlantic into the Mediterranean Sea. The military maneuvers on both sides are unfolding against a backdrop of heightened warnings. Poland, a NATO ally of the United States, has urged its citizens to leave Iran immediately. Its prime minister warned that the possibility of conflict is very real.
Taking this opportunity, I would also like to make all Polish citizens aware, both women and men, who are currently in Iran or, God forbid, are planning to travel to that country. And I am saying this also on behalf of the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Prime Minister Sikorski, who called me just before arriving at the training ground. All of you who are still in Iran, please leave immediately and under no circumstances travel to that country. I don't want to scare anyone here with any potential developments, but we all know what I'm talking about. The possibility of a hot conflict is very, very real, and in a dozen or several dozen hours, evacuation will no longer be an option. So please take this very seriously. We have bad experiences from the past. some ignore these calls and warnings. So I must emphasize again, please leave Iran immediately or do not travel to that country, as no one will be able to guarantee evacuation options in the event of an armed conflict.
In the narrow waters of the Strait of Hormuz, where global energy supplies transit daily, every movement is being watched. Military drills, surveillance flights, carrier deployments, and diplomatic ultimatums are converging in a volatile theater. Whether this is deterrence, preparation, or escalation may depend on what happens next.
Russia is drawing a red line and standing firmly beside Iran. Just after joint naval drills with Tehran, Moscow has issued a stark warning to Washington. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov did not mince words. Lavrov warned that previous strikes on Iranian nuclear sites, facilities under international oversight, carried real risks of triggering a nuclear incident. He stressed that everyone understands this is playing with fire, underscoring just how volatile the situation has become. The warning came as Iran and the United States concluded another round of indirect nuclear talks in Geneva. Diplomacy continues, but so does military signaling. With US forces reviewing regional readiness and warships deployed near Iranian waters, Moscow's message is unmistakable. Escalation could spiral fast. Lavrov says Russia remains in close contact with Tehran and believes Iran seeks a solution within the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty framework, while insisting that any agreement must respect Iran's lawful rights. Regional players, including Gulf nations, are also urging restraint, fearing a confrontation that could destabilize recent diplomatic gains. After high-profile naval drills showcasing coordinated assaults and battlefield readiness, Russia and Iran are projecting unity and resolve. From Moscow to Tehran, the signal to Washington is blunt: push further, and the consequences may be far-reaching. In a region already on edge, the standoff is no longer just about nuclear talks. It's about power, deterrence, and the risk of a wider conflict. And now, the warning from Moscow echoes loud and clear. This is playing with fire.